I've been getting asked a lot of questions about this tool I often use called the TRX Rip Trainer. And in this video, I'd like to go over this apparatus and talk to you about how to put it together and assemble it, how to use it, and how to maximize your workouts with it. So when you get a TRX Rip Trainer, it has two parts right here, this one and this one. This is a bar that gets screwed in right here, as you can see. So the first thing you want to do is screw this together. And then once this is nice and locked in and tight, you have this cord at the other end. Now this cord I'm using is a heavy cord. As you can see, it says heavy, if you can see that. The one that comes with it, I believe, is medium. So you have light, medium, heavy, and I think double X heavy if I'm not mistaken. If you're using a double heavy X cord, that is really hard, my friend. You gotta work your way up to that sucker. When you buy this tool, I highly suggest you stick with the medium for a while until you master the movements, until you build up a really strong core and you're ready to roll on a progression level, okay? Now, this end has a carabiner clip, as you can see, right there. So this is very handy when you have, if you're at a gym and you have clips that are in a cable machine, for example, you can just snap this right in place and then you can slide it up and down to move it where you want it. And I would suggest putting the weight pin in the really low area where it's got like 200 some pounds on it, because you don't want to be pulling on this thing and have that weight rack be slamming up and down. And on this end, this has a loop on it that gets weaved inside this little loop here. And then you hook it in, you weave it around, and you slide it back down. And once you assemble it, and you've done this, and you have this, you're ready to go. So I'm out at a local park here, and I'm gonna hook it up to this soccer goal apparatus I have right here. Fun thing about this tool is you don't need to snap this into something per se. As long as you have a post or a pole to hook it into, you're gonna be good to go. You just need an anchor, and you have to make sure that it's tight and that it's secure. Let's get over to the goal, and I'll show you how to hook it up. Right here, I have the soccer goal that I was talking to you about. Before you put this around something or on something, always test the object and make sure it's secure. So I shook this a little bit before, and I see that it's secure, and there's no way I could rip this thing out of the ground or have it come whipping toward me. Behind this goal, I might also add, there's a wooden fence. And if this wasn't here, I would simply go over there and I'd wrap it around the wooden fence, and that's definitely solid as a rock because it's made with pillars and beams. Always check before you hook this thing up to make sure your object is secure. You can wrap this around a tree, you can wrap it around a tree branch, you can wrap it around a piece of lawn furniture. I once used a hammock at a client's house, behind her house, and it was solid as a rock. It was a huge hammock, and it worked just fine. Always make sure to check your equipment before you use the Rip Trainer. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap this around here. It's very simple. And you're gonna take the carabiner and you're gonna snap it around the cord. And there you go, you're set to go. Now the thing is, you can change the height of your Rip Trainer. There's some drills you're gonna wanna do lower, some you're gonna wanna do higher, some in the mid range. If you ever wanna just forget about the height and the low, the high and the low, just always default to the middle section right here, because you can do most drills when it's anchored right about here. So you wanna be about hip level with your anchor point. If you're doing drills coming down at an angle like this, obviously you're gonna want it higher. And if you're doing things more at an up angle like that, you're gonna wanna have it lower. But again, it doesn't really matter. It depends on the drills that you wanna do and what your goals are. Now, let's get down to some exercises with Rip Trainer. Before I go any further, make sure to check out my YouTube page, because I already have a bunch of short videos with the Rip Trainer listed already. So check those out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna explain a little bit more how this works. Like I said earlier, this is based on unilateral tension, meaning it comes from one side of the body. So you don't have like two cables going like this or two cables coming up like that. You've got one, and you have tension going on one side of your body. The thing that I love really most about this is the fact that a lot of the drills are cross body. So anytime you do a cross body pattern where you cross the midline of your body, which is this right here, the sagittal plane, you fire up a lot of neurons in the brain. Not only does this work your core in a unique way, firing up a lot of muscles that you won't get from conventional ab exercises, but also it has a benefit to the brain too. And I'm all about biohacking the brain and reversing the aging process. And this tool is ideal for that. So one of the drills I like to do is called the Pitchfork. So you hold on to the end of the black part here and here, shoulder width apart, and you do a little hip hinge like this. So in the kettlebell world, hinge is very important and vitally important. And you basically do that same thing when you're doing the Rip Trainer with this drill. So you're gonna come down like this, and you're gonna straight up above your head. And the idea is to get your arm in a straight line with your body here, and you're gonna feel all this tension in your abs and on the posterior chain of your core as well, all rolled into one, which I feel is fabulous. So we're gonna come down and just rip it straight up. And the idea with the Rip Trainer is you can go moderately fast like this, or you can go super slow and really focus on your tension, or you can go super fast, or you can even incorporate hops with a lot of the drills. And I like to do a combination of all three of those when I use my Rip Trainer. And then when you're done with one side, you immediately go to the other, and you reel off some reps over here, and then you pop up in the air. And then you can turn your hands around like this. So now I have an over-under grip, and do the complete opposite thing. So this is I call this a stand-up paddleboard row. And you can do this. And you can go slow and controlled, or you can go moderately fast, or you can do hops. And then immediately you switch sides, go to the other side. So you get the idea with that drill. So that's a pitchfork and a stand-up paddleboarding row. And if you just did those two drills alone, you're really gonna incorporate your whole entire body and your cardiovascular system and cross the midline of your body and fire up a ton of core muscles that might be dormant or that you're not used to using. Also, what I love about the Rip Trainer is the rotational movements you can do. So you can hold it here, extend your arms out, and simply do a rotation from a standing position and get a ton of recruitment in your abs and in your core region, and even your shoulders and upper back as well. And then you can take this and hold it in tight, and you can do it, turn and do a pivot and a press. And again, you can control your speed, slow to fast to super fast. And you can always throw a jump in too. Even when you're doing these rotations, you can throw a little hop in at the end like this. Just do a little knee dip, springboard, hop, spin, turn, hop, spin, turn. And then you can do really high amount of tension exercises like this one. You can push it straight above your head. And right now, all you're doing is contracting the heck out of your abs in order to keep this thing straight from going like this. So if you just held it here and did nothing else, you're doing an exercise, but you can sweeten the pie by lowering it, raising it, lowering it, raising it. And then you can lower it, raise it, and do a side bend overhead, just like this. Then you can sweeten the pie one more time and do a squat, come up, press, side bend. So you see the combinations are really endless with this tool. And you can easily go from one exercise to the next and build 20-minute, 30-minute, even 60-minute workouts. Really the only thing holding you back is your creativity. Okay, let's review. This is the TRX Rip Trainer. Comes with two pieces here that screw together. You have this resistance cord over here. The cords come in light all the way up to extra heavy. You have this attachment here where you weave it through. You hook it on to a secure post over there with a carabiner and wrap it around, or just clip it in. And then you have a ton of exercise you can do from a rotational point of view or from a standing position this way. And you're always doing cross-body patterns, and you have unilateral tension, which fires up your core in a very unique way. This is Kevin David Rail. If you have any more questions or comments about the TRX Rip Trainer or anything else on my page, please let me know. And make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.